Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. It gave me a chance to lower this a little bit more for short people. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley. Our acronyms are UUCBV, which is a lot quicker to say, or Brazos UU, even quicker. That's who we are. My name is Carolyn Clark, and it's my privilege to be the worship assistant today. And I have new glasses, so forgive me for doing the glass twitchy thing. Here we go. We are a welcoming congregation, which means we celebrate and welcome all people of diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. We also strive to welcome people across the diversities of race, age, ability, immigration status, and belief. We're also a congregation working for reproductive justice. So, whoever you are, wherever you have come from, and wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We have a few announcements.
Let's wait till we do our song.
So sorry.
It's okay, Carol. It's fine. Y'all, you need the great hymnal, and it's number 34. Though I may speak, afraid is fine. Come on, Joe.
Okay, a few announcements. Our big event for the fall, the Boo at the UU, is scheduled towards the end of the month, Friday, October 28th at 6:30, and it's in Reverend Kiya and Meg's backyard, so it's a comfortable place to be. The especially fun thing is the costume contest is for adults with the children as judges. So all the adults, you have just under 25 days to dream up your costume, and it's got to be good. There's going to be lots of games, and I couldn't keep track of them all. So the people who know what games are going to be available, shout them out.
So there's going to be a maze for smaller people. There's decorating pumpkins that we're going to give to all the people who can't attend church regularly. We're going to take them to their houses. So we're going to decorate pumpkins for all the people who are forced to stay home for whatever reason. And we're going to have a potions booth. Hallowed the Moon contest. There's a potions booth. I think the UUWF has a booth. There's tarot readings if you want to get your cards read. Anyway, we're going to have a large time, a lot of fun. And it's 511 East 31st Street, just right off of 6th up here. Easy to get to our house.
Okay, a good time will be had by all, so be there. The other announcement I had is that Lunch and Learn group this week, which is noon on Thursdays.
It's Thursday at noon on Zoom. It's on the church calendar. If you forget everything and you don't get the e-cast, just go to the church website, which is brazos-mid-uu.org. And you can go to the calendar, and it's always the same link. So save it, and you can use it whenever.
And this week it's going to be a UU Games Minister, Reverend Craig Swallenberg. And he'll also be preaching next week, so we'll have 2 opportunities to see him. Okay, Joe, you've got an announcement, I know.
Sorry, I will keep this super fast. So my name is Joe Daigle, and I have a joy, but it's this wonderful thing is that a little over 5 years ago, the Brazos Civic Orchestra was born. Another guy and I got together and we founded an orchestra here that gives free music to our community. And we're celebrating our 5th year. Well, we have our concert coming up in celebration of that and our fall concert. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. It's 2 weeks from today. It's on the 16th. It's at Rudder High School. It's 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. It's free, absolutely free. All of our concerts are always free as our membership. And our whole purpose is to just give a place for area musicians to have a place to make music together. We really love to give concerts, and we'd love to see y'all there. So anybody that can make it, we'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Our call to worship today comes from Linda Rooks, who said, "I thought I could completely forgive right away, but I discovered that forgiveness is not a one-time act. It's a process. While it begins with a decision to forgive, it often takes time before the heart fully accepts what the will has set in motion. How long it takes may depend somewhat on the severity of the pain. Forgiveness takes time, and we must give ourselves the grace that our healing requires as we put forgiveness in motion."
It's time to light our chalice, and the words are up there. Please join me in saying our chalice lighting words. We light the chalice as a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, as a beacon of hope for all who seek justice, dignity, and compassion, and in celebration of the life of truth and meaning we share together. And then if we could say our affirmation statement together. Love is the spirit of the church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Hi friends, how's everybody doing today? Give me a thumbs up, a middle, or a down. Awesome, cool. All right, I am Allison Faber, and I know we have visitors today. I'm the Director of Religious Education, and I do a little thing that's called the Time for All Ages every week. So it's a story that can be 0 through 99 years old can find a lesson in the Time for All Ages. First, through 100, you said? Should I include 100-year-olds? Okay, through 100. So we have one announcement this week for RE, which is religious education. And it's that little UU story time, that's our 0 through 5-year-olds. We'll be meeting on Tuesday evening at 5:30 at Tanglewood Park. And also, I wanted to recognize Yom Kippur for our family celebrating, and hope you have an easy and meaningful fast. Okay, today our story is called Swimming Toward Forgiveness. Once, a kid was having trouble at swimming practice. They enjoyed being on the swim team and knew all of the strokes, even butterfly. Is butterfly hard? Yeah, butterfly's hard. The swimmers lined up before each practice, jumped in the pool, and began their drills. It was a lot of work, and the kid thought it was amazing that humans could move through the water almost like dolphins with enough practice. But wait, didn't I say the kid was having trouble at swim team? Well, this is our story for today. It all started when another swimmer named Jess started kicking the kid hard under the water. The kid always gave the benefit of the doubt to people because they learned at church that each person has dignity and worth, and that you never really know what's going on with someone and in their own life. So they ignored Jess at first. But the kicking didn't stop. Jess started to grab the kid's foot when they were ahead and pull hard. The kid thought, well, I'll just let Jess go in front of me and then my feet will be safe. But then that didn't work either. Jess began waiting for the kid at the end of the lane and blocked the wall. The kid got very scared and knew that they could not ignore this anymore. It was dangerous. After practice, the swim coach noticed that the kid seemed terrified to go into the locker room with the others. Coach, I can't go in there with Jess. I'm afraid they'll hurt me. I know Jess is a person with feelings like me, but I think I need to keep myself safe. The coach understood what the kid was saying and didn't make them go into the locker room. At home, the swimmer told their uncle what Jess had done. As they told their story, they got angrier and angrier and even started to cry. They finally yelled, I know I should forgive Jess and just move on, but I can't. Their uncle said, whoa, whoa, whoa. This just happened. Let's take care of you tonight and we can discuss forgiveness tomorrow. Go get some rest. That night, the swimmers slept deeply, and when they woke up, their brain felt rested, but still a deep anger and hurt made the swimmer feel like they were drowning. At breakfast, the swimmer talked with their uncle. I'm just so angry. I can't even think about Jess without wanting to rage. I'm so mad I threw all of my swimming medals in the trash. I'm gonna get even with Jess at practice tonight. Whoa, 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 their uncle said. You mentioned forgiveness last night before bed, but do you know what forgiveness means? It means choosing to treat someone with kindness who was not kind to you. I'm worried that if you don't choose forgiveness, your anger will cloud your judgment and you'll do something you regret. The swimmer was still mad, and now that bubble of anger expanded toward her uncle. How can you take Jess's side? You want me to pretend like this never happened? You want me to forgive Jess? Whoa, 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 their uncle said. This forgiveness is for you, to let go of the anger you have. It doesn't have to be right now, and it may take a while. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. What? The swimmer asked. Reconciliation. What I mean is, you don't have to be friends with Jess. You don't even have to swim in the same lane as Jess ever again to choose forgiveness. But what if Jess doesn't ever apologize? Yeah, forgiveness doesn't require an apology either. You have the power to forgive whomever you want, whenever you want. Now hurry up, the bus is almost here. I'll pick you up after swim practice. The swimmer thought about what their uncle had said all day. Were they ready for forgiveness? Absolutely not. But they might be with time. In the meantime, the swimmer talked to the coach who moved the kid away from Jess. Forgiveness may happen, but the swimmer decided reconciliation would not for now. They just couldn't see how they'd feel safe in the water around Jess. As the swimmer jumped into the water and pushed off the wall, they felt some of the anger leave. They thought. Maybe Uncle Whoa, Whoa, Whoa had a point. And they moved through the cold water to the end of the lane. The end. All right, now all the kiddos who want to join me outside for religious education, meet me in the back. And everyone else, would you please sing us out with this little line of mine?
Before I forget, I want to thank Ken for playing, Carolyn for being a worship associate, and Joe for singing, and Allison, of course, for everything that she does, and John for doing all the tech in the back. It takes a lot of people to put this on. So our reading today comes from the New Testament, Luke 6, verse 37. Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. So now you want to open up your hymnal to 108. A life flows on, an endless song. Please. So now is the time in our service where we approach everyone's joys and concerns. We have a mic up here if you would like to come up and share with the community a joy that you want to share or a sorrow, a burden that you have to bear. We're here for you and we'd like to hear what you have to say. But please use the mic so that the people who are watching the service later tonight will be able to hear you. And I can bring you a mic if you prefer, if you raise your hand.
My dog, we're going to an oncology appointment on Monday. We don't know that it's cancer, but he went blind and they will never be.
I just got back from a trip to Maine, 1 week up there, and got to see my cousins up there and just had a wonderful time. It was beautiful, and the highest temperature was 70 degrees.
Anybody else? Well, now let's move into what Ralph Waldo Emerson called the wise silence. And so you can talk to God as you know God, or just listen to your own inner heart, inner wisdom. We'll end our time of silence with a meditation from the Buddhist tradition. And you can repeat after me if you choose to. The first time we're going to say it for ourselves. May I be free from danger. May I be free from danger. May I be mentally happy. May I be mentally happy. May I be physically happy. May I be physically happy. May I have ease of well-being. This is a great thing to say to people that you're trying to forgive. You can say it for them, and you don't even have to mean it when you first start saying it. The second time we're going to say it for someone that we love, so get somebody in mind. May you be free from danger. May you be free from danger. May you be mentally happy. May you be mentally happy. May you be physically happy. May you have ease of well-being. So this last one is a stretch, and we're going to say it for somebody to whom we have a resentment, like President Putin or something. Again, you don't have to mean it. You're just going to say it. It's going to help you. It's going to help you move past it. May you be free from danger. May you be mentally happy. May you be physically happy. May you have ease of well-being. May it be so. This is one of those tricky sermons where it's too big a thing to talk about and try to do it in 20 minutes, but I'm going to do my best. So I have notes, and I may check with them occasionally, and I'll have to put my glasses up and down because I'm at that awkward age, where if I headbang, my glasses fall off. Yeah, it's a problem. So forgiveness, it's a big life skill, right? It's not something that you learned. In our culture, we don't really learn it unless you're really ingrained in the Christian church. You're going to hear about Jesus doing it. Jesus was good at it. Nobody else is. Right? If you can think of somebody that's good at it, that's wonderful, and you should follow them around like a puppy. Because this is a hard thing. This is like listening. It's a learned skill. And everybody expects you to be good at it. Just do it. Just do it. It kind of like Nike, right? You're just supposed to be able to forgive. But everybody gets hurt. Everybody gets hurt. And everybody has resentments and grievances. You know, and I don't know if you're like this. I hate that I am. But, you know, I had a rough childhood enough that occasionally I can get looped into my grievance story. I can talk about coming out. I can talk about all kinds of things that have happened to me in my life. And if I tell the story in a way that I'm the victim, then I need to work on it. You have to move past it. Otherwise, your past is dragging you back. And so everybody says, oh, forgiveness, you should do it for the other person. And you should be like really big and able to forgive people. I don't think that's true. Here's why. If you forgive people, it's good for you. It really is. Because when you're stuck in a grievance story, it's what they call it in this book that I read that was really good, that I'll tell you the name of. If you get stuck in your grievance story and you tell the story over and over and over about how you are a victim of whatever happened to you, then you are being drugged. It's like you're carrying weights around, like the ghost of that shows up and bothers, you know, he's got his chains all along, attached to him. Your grievances are your chains. And freeing yourself of whatever by forgiving the person doesn't mean that you forget what they did. Doesn't mean that you go hang out with them. I'm not suggesting that. But I am suggesting letting it go and leaving it where it is so that you can move on and go into the future. So this book, Forgive for Good, is an excellent book. If any of this is resonating with you, this book really helped me. I think it will help you too. This psychiatrist basically has studied forgiveness his whole life. He's done studies where he got the people in Northern Ireland that were Protestant to talk to the people who were Catholic. Got mothers of murder victims and the murderers to hang out. So we're talking serious forgiveness. Try to imagine that you do that. If you get into this subject, it feels kind of scary, right? Like learning to listen. It's an adult skill. It takes time, and you have to practice, and you're going to be bad at it. It's okay. Even if you forgive people just a little bit, your weight that you're carrying around in your life will be lighter. And you'll have more room to think about your future. Put your energy in the future. That's exciting, right? It's really exciting. Everybody's got things. Everybody's got your story. Think about your grievance. Think about one of your grievances. I would suggest picking one that's not too scary. And if it's somebody that loves you or that you know loves you, it's easier to forgive them. So practice on somebody that's not too scary. But get the skill set together. So we don't care if they ever talk to us again, and we don't have to hang out with them, but we're going to let them go. And we're going to let the grievance story, the part that you need to hang on to, is the part where you're the victim. Change the story. So what were you hoping for when they did whatever it is? Say, okay, let's just take a relationship. How many people have ever broke up with anyone? Friend or lover? Okay. So we all have those grievances based on those people. They've disappointed us. They broke our hearts. Right? And we've hung on it long after they've left our lives. Well, what if you just took what they said and you looked at it and said, why were you there? Why okay, I'll just take a relationship. I've been in bands with people, it's like being married to more than one person at a time. And when the band breaks up, or your work colleagues, and you have a fight in the work colleagues and somebody leaves the business or whatever, something happens, right? But you had expectations, and what Dr. Fred says is that you have unbreakable rules. That you've made a rule in your mind that all relationships are supposed to last your whole life. And you're supposed to be able to overcome everything. That's your long-term unbreakable rule. Well, what he suggests is the first thing is to look at those rules and see if they're reasonable or that you have that kind of control. Probably you don't. Probably you don't. Probably you say, oh, well, they should have been my friend forever. Let's just do it as a friend because it's less scary. So that person should be my friend for my entire life, but they moved away. Or they married somebody that doesn't like you, or whatever happened, you have to let them go. But when you first think back to when you first met them and why you wanted to be in that relationship with them, it might be, I would really like friends that I've known my whole life. That's an unbreakable rule. You have to be my friend for your whole life. Well, what if you change that story to I hope or I wish that we would be friends our whole life. What they call that is changing it to a positive. So you take the grievance story, whatever it is, how they disappointed you because you had some unbreakable rule that they could not possibly live up to, or that you couldn't possibly control. And you change that story from a grievance story where you're the victim to a wish, so that later on, 10 years from then, when you were no longer friends and you're telling somebody else about it, your new friend perhaps, you say, oh, yeah, I really wanted us to be friends forever, but it didn't work out. I wish we had been friends forever, but it didn't work out, that we had different ideas about friendship. That is a hero story and not a victim story. And that is the hardest trick about forgiveness, is that you're going to make it where I'm in charge of my life. I'm the hero of my life. If something terrible happens to me, then I'm going to tell the story in the best way I possibly can so that I can let the burden of it, the grievance, go and move on with my life and keep going. There's nothing wrong with wanting friends that have known you your whole life. There's nothing wrong with that. If this person doesn't work out, what if you spent the time that you would be grieving and talking about it over and over and over again? What if you spent that time making new friends, thinking about new things? Now, this is easier when I'm talking about stuff like this. What do you do when somebody gets raped or beat up or your house gets robbed? It becomes a much more difficult circumstance to forgive. And I'm not suggesting that you immediately forgive everybody that you run into. A lot of the Christian idea about forgiveness is that you're somehow going to be better than a human being and not have any pain and just move on. And that's not realistic either. But they have actually ways to do this. And I'm telling you about one of them. It's called the HEAL method. And the first one is you have hope. You tell the story as an I wish or I dream of, and you have hope. And the second is educate. You realize that you do not have control over the world. You do not. You cannot control the behavior of other people. And people, this works for yourself too. If you have to forgive yourself. I am really bad about having unbreakable rules in which I have to be a perfect person. And I let myself down all the time and I'm mad. So then I eat stuff I shouldn't eat. Stay up late and watch TV or whatever I need to do to, kind of punish myself for misbehaving, right? I don't know if anybody else does that. I'm sure I'm only talking to myself. But you see the point. Okay, so H is hope. You change your grievance story from being a victim story into a hero story, or just, let the emotion drain out of it and change your focus. How do you do that, Kiya? How do you change your focus? Well, when you catch yourself getting in a loop, I call them trauma loops, but you'll tell the story over and over again, and you'll ruminate on it. You wake up in the morning, you're laying in bed going, what should I do about this? And replaying the story, what a friend of Meg's calls skull cinema, where you're just laying there and you're replaying the event, you're making the grievance stories get more ingrained in your body. You feel yourself getting tense, your blood pressure goes up, you have depression, you have anxiety. These are all really bad things for your body. So not only is forgiveness the cure for these things, it's going to make your life better physically. You're going to be calmer. You're going to be able to handle stress more. If you can get over your expectations of life and get a little bit more realistic about, well, I have control over that, and these things I do not have control over. I cannot change the fact that we are in a pandemic, or that the building's not done, or all these things. I can't change those things. I can be real annoyed about them. I can talk about them all the time. I can make that my focus. Or I can go over here and look around you at the beauty in life. Look around you for the things that you should be grateful for. There's a lot of things that we should be grateful for. I think everybody in this room gets to eat every day. I'm pretty sure. If you just that little shift in your mind thinking, where you notice the things you should be grateful for instead of all the things that you should be mad that you're a victim of, that's how you do it. That's how you break the cycle. It's hard work. I'm not saying any of this is easy. And it's okay if you mess up. Even if you only did it 25%, your life is better. So I'm taking the whole Christianity thing out of it. Let's just do it on a practical level. This is practical and will make your life better. And it's hard. It's hard. But let's give it a shot. So heal. The first thing is H. Second thing is educate, where you accept that you don't have control of the universe and you can't make people do what you want them to do. Lord, if every minister would learn this lesson, we would have a much better life. We'd be a lot less stressed out. And then the third one, A, is you affirm your positive story. Affirm your positive story. Pay attention to the things you love. Get a picture in your mind of something in nature that you really like. So when you feel really frustrated and you can't change people, and you can't change things, and you can't change the fact that you're getting older, and you can't change this or that, try to affirm the positive story. What was your hope? What was your wish that got you in this pain in the first place? And try to focus on, gee, I wonder if I paid more attention to what was going on around me, maybe I could make a friend that I could keep my whole life. Maybe I could change my life a little bit. It's hard work. And as you get older, I know everybody says, oh yeah, everybody gets better when they're older. No, you watch more TV. I'm not saying that this is easy, but you're also modeling it for other people. So another thing you can do is really pay attention to the people around you who are really good at forgiving. I know we all know somebody who's really good at it. They blow things off. In Meg and my relationship, we get 3 mistakes a day that we don't even mention. It makes a huge difference in how much stress we have in our life. And, you love the person. It's easy to forget them. I can't remember anything she's ever done wrong, ever. But being able to make 3 little mistakes and let them go is really good, And then when it starts spreading out to other people. So I know this seems like it's absurd, but there are prayers that you can pray. There's the resentment prayer. There's the meditation prayer. You can look up. If you look online for forgiveness prayers, there are millions of them. You'll find one that resonates with you. If you need some, divine help with this assistance. But you can also just do it on your own. There's techniques. So the heal techniques. And the last L of the heal is live your life. You know, he has a great example where he says, like, grievances are planes in a screen of an air traffic controller. Your life is air traffic, you know, you're an airport, okay? And your grievances are flying around. And if you never deal with them, you have too many planes, you can't land any of them. They're all just like flying around. They're all hanging around. Just start with small ones and get them out of the way and let them go so that you can figure out how to get the other planes down. Does that make sense? I know this is frustrating because all you realistic people, you're like, damn it, Kiya, it's too hard. I'm not doing it. They were too terrible. They deserve to just rot in my dislike. Yeah. There's, I'll read you this quote before I let you go on this. Of the 7 deadly sins, anger is possibly the most fun. To lick your wounds, to smack your lips over grievances long past, to roll over your tongue the prospect of bitter confrontation still to come, to savor to the last toothsome morsel both the pain you were given and the pain you are giving back. It is in many ways a feast fit for a king. The chief drawback is that you are wolfing down. What you are wolfing down is yourself. The skeleton at the feast is you. That's Frederick Buechner that said that. But just think about it. If this is something that you suffer from, then see what you can do about it. There's a lot of resources out there. There's another book called The 8 Steps of Forgiveness that I found to be not so Christian-oriented that a typical you couldn't be comfortable with it. And the Forgive for Good is very practical. And most of the stuff what I talked about today came from learning that in that book. Also, Clarissa Estes, the woman who runs With the Wolves book. You all know that book? She's got a very good chapter on forgiveness and talks about how good it is to forgive for yourself, how it could change your life. So I hope that was helpful, and thank you for listening.
Thanks, Kiya. Now let an offering be taken to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This church shares the proceeds of the offering plate donation every week to support important nonprofit organizations with which we work. This month, we are proud to support the Mobile Food Pantry, something that we're doing with a number of other churches and organizations and feeding so far, over 400 people. So our money is going to a really good cause here. Please be as generous as you can. And I have to confess, the Gay Web asked me to do the collection. I forgot that I was worship assistant and said yes. So I have to ask for 2 volunteers who know where the baskets are. Good, Alice and Jerry, thank you. Outside.
Yeah, we're gonna sing number 95, There's More Love Somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. More hope.
We give thanks for these gifts that we have given, for those we receive, and we give thanks for each other. May your generosity return to you tenfold. Okay, it's time to extinguish the chalice. And we have the words up there. Thanks, John. Please join me in saying them. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we gather together again.
Y'all, I hope you got something out of the talk today, and I hope that you have the courage to at least explore your options, because we don't want to have our joy stolen out of our lives. Our lives are precious, and we've got a lot to work with, and despair is the problem. Don't go there. Don't need to. You don't need to. If you need help, ask for help. One of the reasons why we're all here is that we got each other. If we need help, you can always talk to me. I will help you get other people who are better at it than I am that can help you more. But tonight, I'm going to teach you a song. We'll teach you today a song that we sang at my ordination, so some of y'all have heard it. It's This Joy That I Have. It's by a famous pastor named Shirley Caesar. But the Thrive Choir does it, and if you want a link to it later, but I will lead you in it. It's real easy, so I'm going to sing you the first verse. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. But you know that this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Want to try that? Let's try it. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This strength that I have, strength, this strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Go in peace.